Today we'll be talking about um, VLOOKUP, index, match, index and match. So if you're still confused between VLOOKUP, index and match, in this video I'll break down exactly how they work, when to use each, and why index plus match is a smarter choice than VLOOKUP, with practical examples. And I'll also be making some little mistakes that you might also make when practicing, so you can know that this is what you have to do. Once you see the error, the value error or any error, you know that this is what I have to do. So we'll be making some little mistakes in this video. So this is a pure practical video for you to master index, match, VLOOKUP. So let's jump right in. In our last video we talked about VLOOKUP, but we looked at exact match. You can go over to our previous video to check the video, because in this video we'll be looking at approximate match. We won't be looking at exact match anymore, because we already have a previous video where we did approximate match. But if you stay with me right to the end of this video, we might do the exact match, and also we're going to work with data validation. Stay with me right to the end of this video. So we talked about the pros of VLOOKUP, that it is simple and easy to use, but the cons are it can only search to the right. That is, it looks up for a value in the leftmost part of the table and it searches to the right. And if it is like that, if you move your columns, that is, it will break if the columns are moved. So that is why the index and match is a better choice than VLOOKUP. So without wasting much of your time, let's jump right in. Index returns the value of a cell at a specific row and column in a range, while match returns the position of a value in a column or row. So for short, for tip, for you to remember what match and index is without cramming maybe the definition, you just know match returns position while index returns value. Match returns position while index returns value. So now we have a data set here that talks about a list of planets. We have list of planets and their diameters and the satellites. So now they ask us to look for the position of Mercury in this our data set. So just imagine it is a large data set. How will you know the position of Mercury? So we're going to make use of match. So you need to know, if you have a large data set and you need to look up for a position, let's say a list of students, and you want to know the position, you make use of match. So let's jump right in. Equals, once we want to enter a function formula in Excel, we start with the equals to sign. So match, our lookup value will be our Mercury. You might be thinking, what is lookup value? These are our arguments that we need to follow. Excel has placed in the arguments you need to follow. You can see that Excel is easy to learn and understand. So the lookup value is the specific value you want to find in a list or a table. So it is the name that we are searching for in that list, in the names, to return the position. So the lookup value is our Mercury. Then the table array So this lookup value is in this list. That is why the array means the list of the range of cell that we're searching through. Do you understand? The lookup array is the range of cells in Excel that Excel will search through to find the lookup value. So we say comma, then exact match. So you can see. So now our match function has told us that Mercury is in position 1. So let's go in with the index. So let's indicate that we used match for this. So for index, like we said, index returns the value. So index, the array. So this one is then the row number. The row number will be the position of what we are searching for. The position of what we're searching for. So this one is just a one-dimensional form of index. A one-dimensional form of index. Like I said match returns position, while index returns the value. So can you see it now? So index is returning the value of that position 1 is returning the name, that is Mercury, while match will return the position, that is Mercury is in position 1. So I believe we understand this example, because this page is here to analyze and simplify Excel in the simplest way anyone can understand. Even if you've not made use of Excel before, you're definitely going to understand with this tutorial videos. So now let's say position. What to do for position? Planet, diameter, and satellite. So this is a practical example we're having. So for the position, like I said, to get the position, and I said we'll also be making some little mistakes so that you know what to do once you see that mistake while you're practicing. So to get the position, yes, we're going to use match. If you said match, you're correct. So we're going to use match. So our lookup value, so we'll be looking up to everything in this cell, that is our planet cell. Just watch everything in this our planet cell, comma. So our lookup array, then exact match. So like I said, now we are having any error. Why are we having this error? So you go back and check any error. You know, we selected G9, cell G9, and nothing is in our G9. So now let's input any planet. Let's say Mars. So can you see? So you saw that error, which means that, oh, the cell we selected, there's nothing imputed in that cell. So now when we input the our planet, you can see that it returns the position. So now let's try this. Let's try Pluto. You can see it returned 9. So that is how index and match works. So now let's move to diameter. So for us to get the diameter of this planet in this position, we'll make use of our index. So our array, we're looking for diameter. So we have to select from the planet to the diameter downwards, comma. So our row number will be the position, because it can be any planet we're looking for, but we just want the diameter to appear. So we click on the position, comma, then the column number. Our diameter is in column 2, the planet is column 1, the second column is diameter, so we're going to choose 2. So once we click enter, so let's check if this is correct. You see our diameter, our Pluto, I mean. So yeah, so 2306. So you can see our diameter is in 10. So let's try to change this. If it will change, so let's choose mass. So you can see mass is in position 4 and the diameter is 6792. So you can see it changes. So let's check for our satellite. We want to know the satellite number for mass in this diameter. So we say index. So the array will be from our planet down to our satellite downwards, comma. So the row number will be the position. So we click on the position. Then the column number is satellite is in the 3rd column, because we want to return the number in satellite. So it will be the 3rd column. So we put in 3. So once we click OK, you can see that is in 2. Let's see. Mass, the satellite is 2. So can you see? So let's choose Hertz. So you can see it changes. Earth is in position 3 with diameter 12,756 and with satellite number 1. So that is how index match works. So let's go to index and match. So for index and match, we have list of students with their courses and their grade. So with this, we want to combine index and match. You can use match to find the position and index to return the value. So that is the advantage this have over VLOOKUP. The index and match is more flexible and can look left or right, and it doesn't break if the columns are reordered, and it works better with large data sets. So let's check. We have, okay, let's say names, then want to make use of index and match. Let's say that. So the question, let's say um lookup for the grade of down in the table. So now we want to look up for this um we want to look up for the score, the grade of this person in this data set. So we want to look up for the grade of this person in our data set, making use of index and match. Remember, the index and match equals index. So we'll pick in because we are returning grade. So we alight our return array, comma, then match. So the lookup value will be this, comma, and the lookup array where we have our lookup value in, the list where we have our lookup value in, comma, then exact match. Yes, so I said, let me say no. Okay, so I said that we'll be making some mistakes. So we need to input exact match. So I opened an initial column, a initial parenthesis, which we're looking for, and we need to close this parenthesis. Because we opened two brackets. So we need to close the two brackets. So once we click enter, you see, so once we search, you can see this is. So once we check for another person's name, you see it changes 54. So this is how to use the index and match formula. So let's go over, like I said, if you stay right to the end of this video. So let's use VLOOKUP for this, so you know why I said index and match is better than VLOOKUP. So let's use VLOOKUP. Equals to VLOOKUP will be this. Then the table array, then the column index number 3, because we're returning the grade. Exact match. So you can see that VLOOKUP looks up from the left part of our column, but for index and match, you can see the index we chose the returning column, while for the match you can see our lookup value, then the lookup array, it can search both left and right. That is the index and match. It searches both left and right. So it is flexible and powerful. So now I said if you stay right to the end of this video, we're going to do the VLOOKUP approximate match. So approximate match for the VLOOKUP. So we have list of employee IDs, employee names, their department and their salaries. So we need to know their bonuses and we need to input it into this table. So for us to be able to do that, we use the approximate match, because between 50 to 54 we see it is 5%, and between this and this it is 7%, between this and this it is 10%, and this it is 12%. So we're going to make use of the exact match, because there's no value for 51, no value for 52. So it has already grouped it into the minimum salaries, the list of minimum salaries. So we say equals VLOOKUP. So our lookup value will be the salary, then the table array will be the minimum salary and the bonus column. The column index number will be our bonus column, that is the second column. And this, each salary doesn't have their bonuses, it is grouped. So we're going to choose approximate match. We're going to choose approximate match. So we choose true. So now let's autofill. So now that we autofilled, we see that we can see some errors here. Like I said, we'll be making errors so that you can know, once you see error, you can know what to do next. So once we open this our column, we can see that our lookup value, then our table array. This table array, we are supposed to lock it. So you lock the table array using the F4 key. So this is another topic in Excel. If you want to know about absolute cell reference and relative cell reference, stay glued to our channel, because we're going to be breaking down Excel tips, Excel, and simplify it to its simplest form, that even if you don't know Excel, you'll be able to understand. So once we lock it and we press enter and autofill, you can see that. So this is how to use the approximate match. So you can see that 54 is not in this minimum salary list. So let's see, for ID 108, you can see the salary is 54 and it is showing 5%. So it has already grouped it. Excel already knows that we've already grouped it. So from 50 downwards to 54, it's going to be returning 5%. From 55 downwards to 59 is going to return 7%. So that is how approximate match in VLOOKUP works. So I believe by now we should be able to use VLOOKUP to do this. So We have our employee ID, employee name, department ID, and salary. How do you look for that in Excel? This is the VLOOKUP exact match. So this is just a bonus tip because I already taught VLOOKUP in our last video. So our lookup value will be the employee ID, then the table array, comma, then the column index will be 2 because the employee name is in the second column. You can be checking the formula bar for the formula, comma, then exact match. So once you press OK, you can see it's showing NA. Why is it showing NA? We chose a column that it is empty. So now we're going to use our so for our employee ID. So I said, well, I'm going to be teaching data validation. Data validation. So instead of typing the employee ID one after the other like we were doing for the index and match, typing this one by one, looking for the diameter, instead of typing it one by one, I'm going to teach you how to use data validation. So once we go to our data tab, you first click on where you want to apply your data validation rule, and is in cell G1. So we go to the data tab, then come to this data tools group, then click on this drop that you see data validation. So we say list, want to apply a list of employee IDs into that cell. So source, we choose this downwards, then OK. So once we click OK, automatically you see all the employee IDs. Can you see, as we choose something, the name changes automatically, the error is gone. So you can see you can choose any of the employee IDs. So this is our VLOOKUP. Lookup value will be our, then the table array, comma, then the column index number will be the third because our department is in the third column, then exact match. So let's check. So we can see that for 113, ID 113, that is Williams word. Let's check if it's by now. You should be a pro. So our lookup value will be the employee ID, comma, the table array. We select downwards, comma, then the column index number. You know, for our salary, the employee ID is column 1, employee name is column 2, department is column 3. So our salary is 4. So column index number will be 4, comma, then the exact match. So once we put it in, you see 6200. Let's look at ID 109. You can see. So that is how our VLOOKUP and our index and match works. So I hope you find this helpful, and I hope this help clear up the difference between VLOOKUP, index and match. So if you find this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button for more upcoming videos in this channel, and leave a comment telling me which function you prefer or still find confusing. So if you want to practice with my Excel sheet, just comment below and I'm going to send it to you.